This is a video about why book marketing is a waste of time. And the reason I want to put this up is because I've been noticing a lot of articles on websites talking about book marketing or talking about building an author platform, SEO for authors, a lot of different stuff that's very basic. And I feel a little frustrated that even if the advice that authors are getting is really low level advice that isn't going to help you sell your book at all. However, there's kind of a baseline that you need to have. If you're selling a book, you've got to have a nice book cover. You've got to have a nice website that gets some traffic. There's things that you need to have in place, and there's a lot of people out there who want to sell you services or packages or courses or other things that help you get kind of that baseline level. And it's important to get there, and it's hard. It's like if you aren't good at working online, if you don't know how to build a website, design books, there's so many things you have to learn, and you need help. And there's a lot of people who want to help you do that low-level stuff, or do it for you, and that's kind of their business. That's how they make money. So they put out book marketing advice or articles that's very simple, which isn't very interesting and actually won't help you sell your book because, yes, it's true, you need to have everything done well and done right, and then hopefully your book will take off, but there's so much competition, and the majority of authors publishing books are not publishing bestsellers. They're not publishing books that were written for an audience to be successful. Most authors are publishing books that are more like a hobby. They publish for themselves. It's the book that they want to write, and now they're trying to market. Even if you do everything right, most of what you do isn't going to sell books. The stuff that's going to sell books is the high-level stuff that nobody else is talking about yet. The stuff like visibility and discoverability, SEO, not SEO for your website. Like, you need to get content on your website and make sure there's keywords so people can find you. But if you're using keywords that a million other websites are using, and if you're a new website, nobody's ever going to find you anyway. So SEO is kind of like, it totally doesn't matter unless you're really building a strong author platform by doing all this other stuff to bring in backlinks. Content marketing, it's more about telling a story and doing interesting things and doing creative things that nobody else in your genre is doing. And the nice thing, the lucky thing is that there's nobody who's really crushing it with book marketing, at least in fiction. There's some smart people with nonfiction who are doing a lot of cool things really well. But with fiction, and even with traditionally published fiction, people aren't doing kind of like the guerrilla publishing strategies that we can do that are available to us. They haven't really been discovered yet, or nobody's technical enough to understand how to do them or how they work, which is why it's such a huge field of opportunity for a self-publishing author who knows some of this stuff. If you're the only one in your genre that does a few little tricks, like linking your keywords on your website straight to your Amazon page, or publishing guest posts and doing the same thing. Basically, your websites are ranked based on relevancy and popularity, how much time people spend on the website, and links, backlinks, so how many people are linking to the website. So you might already know that you want to publish great content that earns a lot of links back to your website, but you may not know that you want to have a lot of high power links to your Amazon page from authoritative websites, because Google will rank your Amazon page higher. So if someone searches for mermaid romances on Google, I want them to find my Amazon page that has a mermaid romance book on it. And that'll happen if I think about SEO and I think about the Amazon page is just another website that I want to boost in the search results. So it's kind of some things. So it's kind of it's interesting because if you're starting out and you're a first-time author, you've got to learn to set up a basic author platform. But the majority of book marketing advice out there isn't really going to be helpful. It'll help you kind of, what's a good analogy? It's kind of like, this is probably not a good analogy, but it's kind of like if you open a restaurant and you pay someone to build the building, buy all the kitchen materials, buy all the ingredients. You've got a finished platform, like everything is done right, but they don't teach you how to cook and they don't get you any clients. So you've got all the basics. Everything looks good on the surface, but you're not taking that extra step to get the visibility, to get buyers into your funnel or into your platform. And that's why that's why I don't do services. And it's a very weird industry where a lot of people are making a lot of money offering services to authors, but very few authors are making any money. So there's this bizarre imbalance between the author's expenses, which is, I believe, self-publishing is over $1 billion. So authors are spending $1 billion publishing their book, but 1 out of 1 million authors are making income off their book. And that's a problem. That's kind of why I'm not saying that like it's always necessarily scammy, because authors need help. And if you're paying someone to help you to do the stuff that you need, that's fine. I mean, someone's got to do it, and you need the help, and they know how to do it. That's a valuable business. There's nothing wrong with offering that kind of a business. I personally, I kind of don't want to do it anymore, because I don't feel comfortable taking money for something that authors believe is going to earn money back. Like they believe it's a business expense or an investment when it may not be. And that's not necessarily my place to judge. I have a lot of clients who maybe I thought they weren't going to be successful, and actually they're bestsellers now. So I have a lot of clients who have proven me wrong. And I don't want to be the guy who says your book isn't going to be successful, so you shouldn't invest money in it, because what do I know? But I also think a lot of authors do spend a lot of money and don't earn a return on their investment. And I want to be a guy who helps you earn more money with your book. Like, as long as you're going to publish a book, you can do the stuff that needs to be done to make your book successful. A lot of people are selling courses and stuff. I might build courses later. At the moment, this is all just free content. I'm putting out a lot of free content on my website because I'm not dealing with authors one-on-one anymore, because I want to just focus on my fiction. And I want to make sure that there's a lot of free content out there on my website for self-publishing or indie authors who are getting started, so that they can have all their answers solved without needing to pay somebody else. And also because the stuff that they want, that like this, paying someone to build your author website, paying someone for book marketing, buying a package, there's a lot of ways to spend a lot of money that's not going to work at all. It's a total waste of money. And you can do things that don't cost any money that can be tremendously powerful and successful. It's mostly just about education. You have to learn what kinds of things you should be doing. Because if you spend a little bit of time and money now to build a strong author platform that gets natural traffic, and if you launch your books a certain way and you're building your email list, publishing should get easier and easier for you and cost less and less money. And that's, of course, what you want to be doing. What most authors are doing is spending the same amount of money on every book because they're not building a strong author platform that brings readers to them. It's really important you start doing that soon and quickly. I published a post a couple days ago that was like something like 8 book marketing lies all authors tell themselves, because a lot of authors have a lot of excuses. They're avoiding book marketing because they just tell themselves stuff like, I'm a writer, not a book marketer, or I just want to write, or I hate computers, I'm not good with computers. I hear a lot of excuses. If you're publishing a book, you've got to figure out the stuff you need to do, and you need to do it. It might be uncomfortable. You may have to learn some stuff. It might be hard at first. But what you're not able to do is go on forums and ask a lot of questions and not take action, or complain all the time, or say, I'm doing everything right, but nothing's working for me. Because just publishing and doing things well enough isn't enough to be successful. If you want to be hugely successful and sell millions of copies of your books, like I hope to, And every author hopes to sell millions of copies of books. You can't just publish and hope for the best and wait for things to happen. It's a business. You have to focus and spend a lot of time and effort building your business so that you have a sustainable platform that earns money long term. Most authors aren't doing that. So if you are doing that, you have a much greater chance at success. But it takes time and effort, and it's not something that just happens.